In this demonstration, I'll show you how to divide complex numbers. This video contains two questions, one that's easy and one that's a lot harder. I'll start off with the easier one, and then hopefully it will give us enough information to tackle the second one. Now in this question, it reads, what is 6 divided by 3i? Now, you divide complex terms, or even imaginary terms in this case, simply the way you would divide algebraic expressions. In this case, 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2, and this I remains at the bottom. Now, the problem with this answer is that you are not allowed to have imaginary terms in the denominator position. You have to somehow get rid of that I, and the only way to do that is to rationalize the denominator. And this is how you do that. You multiply the top and the bottom by I. And here's what that does. At the top, you end up with 2 times I, which is equal to 2i, and that's acceptable. And at the bottom, you end up with I to the power of 2. Now, in a previous video, I showed that I to the power of 2 is equal to negative 1. And so this becomes 2i over negative 1, which is equal to negative 2i. This expression and this expression are identical. The next question. Here, we are expected to divide this binomial, this complex number, 3 minus 4i by 2 plus I. Now, at first glance, you might think that this is impossible to divide. But there's a trick to it. And the trick is to multiply the top layer and the bottom layer by the conjugate of the bottom layer. Now, if you recall in our previous video that the conjugate of any binomial is when you negate that second term. So what I'm saying is that to divide this expression, you multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate of this expression. 2 minus I, 2 minus I. Let's go ahead with that. Let's start off at the top, the numerators. In the numerator positions, we have 3 minus 4i multiplied to 2 minus I. 3 times 2, and essentially what we're doing here is we're expanding, is equal to 6. 3 times negative I is equal to negative 3i. Negative 4i times 2 is equal to negative 8i. And negative 4i times negative I is equal to positive 4i squared. Recall that these two terms are like terms, and so we'll simplify them for the next step. 6 minus 11i plus 4 times I squared is the same thing as saying 4 times negative 1. Let's continue to simplify this. 6 and plus 4 times negative 1, that is equal to negative 4. 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. And minus 11i is written following that term. Now let's focus on the the denominators. This was our numerators. And now our denominators. So our denominators look like this. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative I is negative 2i. These two multiplied is equal to positive 2i. And these two terms multiplied is equal to negative I squared. These two are like terms, and they cancel out. And I to the power of 2 is equal to negative 1, so we end up with 4 minus negative 1 is equal to 5. And the way we write our final answer is we combine the numerator and denominator. 2 minus 11i over 5. Now before you finalize your answer, keep in mind that all complex terms have the format a plus bi. we have to convert this to this format. And the way you do that is you place this 5, or you distribute this 5 to both of these terms, and you end up with 2 over 5 minus 11i over 5. So there you have it. That is how to divide imaginary and complex terms. If you have any questions related to this video, please comment below. If you found this video helpful, please like it. And if you have any further questions, use our website, which is located at the bottom right corner at biology-forums.com for more help. See you soon.